So I'm now down to the last few pages in this sketchbook, and in this little experimental play session I've stuck down some scraps of collage, and I'm just coming over with some dark paint. I just want to create an interesting surface, some texture, some relief little bits with those edges of collage paper, and just see where this takes me. So having put dark paint down, I'm now putting light paint over the top and spreading that around with my colour shaper so that I get some areas that are thick paint, some areas that are thin, and sprinkle a little bit of water over it, and then I can scrape back with the colour shaper and move that paint around a little bit more and get some more interesting effects. I also get the little splashy dotty effects, which I love to get on the surface of my paintings as well. So then, so this is just building up the surface, making some parts have thick paint, some parts have thin paint, and see where we go with that. So now I'm adding colour, and I'm putting this on with quite thick paint and just spreading this around, just seeing where the brush will take me really, creating a shape. I'm thinking about what's gone before, so underneath is just everything's kind of the same, it's all textured, so now I'm creating shapes. I want it to be different. Okay, so now having created shapes, I'm going to come in with some line and a different colour. I had warm before, now I'm coming in with cool and just spreading this around. Got no idea what's going to happen, no idea where this is going or what I'm making. I'm just playing. I'm just seeing what looks good with what, and I know that if it doesn't look good I can cover it up with something else. There's no mistakes here, it's just all experiment and play. So now I'm drawing with a pencil, and on the left was quite free drawing, and now I'm using a sharp edge to make straight lines, and then a little bit more free drawing at the top, and just spreading these lines throughout the composition. Coming with some yellow pastel, some more drawing, different lines and shapes going in there, and now I'm splattering around some acrylic ink and spreading that around with the colour shaper. More ink, this time it's a cool colour, so I'm putting in a blue. Previously it was a warm colour, it was a sort of a red oxide, I think. So just continuing with shapes. Okay, I put in some brown shapes, and now I've got quite a lot going on, so I'm going to try and get some clarity by putting in some light shapes, and this is where I start to define some edges and look at where my lights and darks are in this composition. So I'm looking for differences again, I'm looking for soft edges, I'm looking for hard edges, different shapes, and bringing things over the top of the light paint as well. So I'm drawing in here with a yellow pencil and then bringing some yellow paint in as well. All the time I'm looking for things that I like, and I liked that yellow, so I just put more on. Just spreading this yellow around, and now drawing through that wet paint, making a sort of a drawing that connects the left and the right hand side of the painting. Okay, so what have I got now? Now I'm adding in some dark paint and just sort of darkening up some dark areas. I've got quite a lot of light going on there, so now I'm coming in and defining some more dark, adding some details, contrasting thin paint with thick, just seeing what will happen. I like putting sort of watery, transparent paint over the top of thick paint. It's quite fun. More yellow, and then coming back with that blue line. So I'm bringing some really thin lines in here with a very thin brush. And you can see all the different lines that are going on in this painting. I've got drawn lines, I've got loose lines, I've got ruled lines, I've got thick lines, I've got thin lines. I do love a line. And now I'm bringing in some more blue. And at some point I sort of start seeing a story happening in it, in the painting. I start to see it developing into something. So I start linking shapes up. I don't know what it is, I don't know what the story is, but it's kind of, looks like some sort of machinery, or I don't know, it could be something you find in a factory. Not sure, but I'm just going with it and seeing what is developing here. Making this area a little bit darker, bringing in some more of the orangey brown, defining some shapes up in this corner, bringing in some little details, more drawing, the pencil. And these are some details that I like to bring in at the end, and these are actually the initials of my parents' names, and I always like to include them in my paintings somewhere, so I pop them in, slightly mask them, and then this is another little detail that I like to include as well. I'm one of 6 siblings, so I always have little 6 lines going on, and just adding these details and lines to the composition to make it, finish it off. And that's the final thing. So that was a fun playtime in my sketchbook. Yeah, I'm happy with that.